9:09, Slocum in the morning after 9 on 1340 WJOL. Money Talk brought to you by the NuMark Credit Union. NuMark Credit Union is here for you and your financial needs. Low rates on auto loans, mortgages, home equity lines of credit. Access your money, pay bills, and more with their online banking and mobile app. NuMark Credit Union has options for you, so call them at 815-729-3211 or visit newmarkcu.org to learn more. That's NUMARKCU.org, equal housing lender. NuMark Credit Union, where you are family. Today we're going to talk about fraud and how we all can maybe become a bit more vigilant in recognizing fraud tactics. In just a couple of moments, we're going to introduce you to our expert commentators today. But first, I want to remind you, at the end of our time together, which is near the bottom of the hour, we're going to ask you a trivia question. Where do you find the answer? Well, at some point, when we're talking to Debbie, Kevin, or Tracy, you're going to hear them say something. I'm going to take that information, turn it into the form of a question, and ask you to answer it. And if you are the first correct caller on the Turk Furniture studio line at 815-254-7300, you are going to win a $25 Visa gift card. That's how easy it is. So without further ado, let's bring on our three guests here today. We've never done three at once before. I'm excited. It's going to be great. Debbie Reed, Vice President of Finance for Newmark. Hi, Debbie.
Good morning, Scott.
How are you, young lady? Everything fine for you?
Well, everything's good for me. I'm luckily able to work remotely, so I'm looking at my computer screen, and I have my headset on just as if I was in the studio.
All
so
right.
I feel like I'm there with you, Scott.
There you go. Well, good. You're playing a little radio today from home. I like that. Kevin Quinn is the Chief Technology Officer for NuMark Credit Union, and I'm sure Kevin working from home as well. And Kevin, because you're such a tech geek, and I mean that lovingly, you know how I feel about you, I bet you have the most incredible setup in your basement. It kind of looks like the Bat Cave. Am I right?
I wish. I need to get on that. I tend to not bring work home with me all that often, so I'm at a pretty standard setup right now. Although I can say I never thought I'd be doing your show in gym shorts and a hoodie, but here we are.
Here you are. Exactly right. And by the way, I am disappointed that you don't have a cooler setup. I mean, I expected more from you.
Trust me, I'm disappointed in myself as well.
Okay, well, we'll talk about that at a later date. Tracy Szendzial is the operations support person for NuMark Credit Union. Hi, Tracy. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
Good. Are we doing shorts and hoodie for you as well? Do you have headsets on? What's your setup like at your house?
I am working from home in some sweatpants and a T-shirt. Yes.
All right. Well, I'm working from the office in sweatpants and a T-shirt, too. I don't have to dress up because you people aren't here to see me, which has been kind of nice. I got to admit it. It's been kind of nice. All right, so let's get into this. Debbie, as the Vice President for Finance, kind of explain what your role is there pre-pandemic and, I guess, during pandemic as well.
Well, I'm actually the Chief Financial Officer for NuMark Credit Union, and so we're responsible for a lot of the accounting, specifically all the movement of money through the credit union. We monitor credit union's money every day, and I have a great team in my accounting group. Tracy's one of them, where we are monitoring and looking at our members' accounts. We're doing all we can to protect our member money and keep things safe.
All right. Kevin, what about you? I mean, for those who aren't familiar with what you do, though, we've had you on the program several times. So what is it that you do as the Chief Technology Officer?
Yeah, I would say pre-pandemic it was, products around security, different applications we would, develop or contract with. For our banking systems, post, and actually I'd say during the pandemic, I've been kind of like Xfinity tech support, where I'm asking people to reset their home modems, telling them to turn it off and turn it on again. So, my role's changed a little bit, but looking to get back to normal. We've forklifted about a third or close to half of our work staff to work from home roles. It's gone pretty well, but it's interesting times for everyone right now, I'm sure.
Don't you love those questions? And you go, okay, just unplug it, and they're like, yeah, that works.
Yeah, I'm like, you gotta get somebody off the Xbox right now. I think that's why your calls are dropping.
That's priceless. He just made my day with that one. All right, Tracy.
Oh, yeah.
Tracy, operations support. That kind of explains itself, doesn't it?
It does. I support not only our members, but our frontline staff in assisting our members with anything that has to do with plastic. So I'm helping with the debit cards and the credit cards, specifically looking for fraud within our debit cards and just trying to prevent as much loss as we can for both our members and the credit union.
All right. Well, Debbie, let's get into some detail now. How Newmark protects money and accounts from fraud. How do you guys do it?
Well, we have a lot of vendors that we partner with, and we use a lot of their systems to specifically monitor the members' accounts fraud. So we're looking at, like Tracy just mentioned, debit card activity, any automatic payments that come through your account. We look at checks that come through your accounts, especially large dollar checks. Some of our members even have wires. So these are some very specific programs that compare activity to what they're seeing across the industry, not just Newmark. So we're being warned of trends before they happen. So when we see things that look unusual, we may reach out to our members, contact them, and ask them if this is their transaction. So I just want to put it out there that, if we call you to question something, we're doing that for your benefit. We're not questioning things that you might be doing. We're verifying that this is you, and we're protecting you and protecting your money from fraudsters because, in this environment, especially even more so today, you have to be aware that, the fraudsters are out there, and NuMark Credit Union is here to protect you.
Absolutely. And Tracy, you're also protecting your credit union as well, which, of course, is made up of members. So you're protecting everyone, right?
Correct. I do my best, and I'm not alone. We have a very good team. We all kind of put our heads and hands together every single day to reach out to our members to make sure that these transactions are theirs, and just doing the very best we can to prevent fraud before it does occur. So,
Debbie, what are some of the things Newmark looks for that could signify fraud in account? I'm sure you guys have little red flags that pop up from time to time, right?
Yes. Well, we, like I said, we have some vendors that, especially more so on the debit card side, that have algorithms, and we work very closely with our vendors to put rules in place if we see that, there could be fraud at, say, XYZ or a certain area. So we work very closely to look for trends, monitor trends, work and put those rules in place. And then if we monitor then what would be exception reports on a daily basis to call and verify these are our members. If we see any type of trends where we know it's, you've heard of, I don't want to pick on any industry, but like fast food company that had a problem, then we will block cards and make sure we get members new cards so this doesn't continue. So once again, we're just out there looking for things to happen and notifying our members so that they don't experience any fraud.
This is Money Talk, brought to you by NuMark Credit Union. Debbie Reed, Kevin Quinn, Tracy Szendzial joining us from NuMark Credit Union. Kevin, so that's what we expect from you as members of NuMark Credit Union. But what about us? What can we do to be protecting ourselves from becoming a victim of fraud?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the thing I've said for forever, I guess, but a good, healthy sense of skepticism, and now more than ever. I mean, and a lot of the other times I was on the show, I talk about they would, the attackers would always try to instill this sense of urgency, this sense of, fear. They don't have to instill anything right now. Everybody has a sense of fear and a sense of urgency. So those messages are coming through email. People are getting phone calls. If it sounds too good to be true, it 100% is. I mean, we're seeing stuff as bad as fake testing sites being set up where you give them $250 and you'll have your test turned around in 24 hours, and it's complete garbage. It's a fake testing site. So really, I mean, the biggest thing to look out for in all the emails I'm sure everyone's receiving, all of the text messages, all of the phone calls, is, if it sounds too good to be true, if they're talking about, turning around a test for you in 30 minutes, and the federal government or your state isn't even talking about that, it's not true. It's and the other thing to look out for, and this is, this kind of goes after people's sense of wanting to do the right thing, but you got to look out for fake donation sites. That's been a big thing too. Anybody looking to deal exclusively in cryptocurrency, gift cards, cash, there's a good chance that it's phony. There's nothing inherently wrong with cryptocurrency or cash. Gift card, that is a weird thing to deal with for making transactions. But if that's all that they'll accept, then there is a very good chance that it's a phony website. And they're also seeing some money laundering as well going on, where they're asking people to take some money into their account so that they could make a donation for whatever reason that they're claiming that the donation needs to be funneled through something else. But you're committing money laundering if you process that transaction. It's in everything you do. I mean, if we thought that the attackers had any type of scruples, I think that was all kind of out the window when we saw that the attacks against hospitals kept going on, and even in higher numbers. Crypto mining, BitLocker, not BitLocker, but just basically ransomware, crypto mining on hospital systems during the time where they're really under the gun, trying to help everyone out, and they're still being attacked left and right. So it's just being vigilant out there with what you see and what you hear.
Kev, what about specifically related to COVID-19? Have you seen anything happen?
Yeah, and so it kind of touches on that, but a lot of emails coming through. You got to watch out for clicking links, and that's something that's always been a thing. But it's also, I think a lot of people are more susceptible to it now because some of the sensationalist emails coming through of this is what's going on in your community, and there were just 500 deaths in your town of 506 people, and kind of real salacious headlines where you're like, what is going on? And obviously clicking a link is, it's weird to say, compared to everything going on, that clicking a link is a risky endeavor, but it's a surefire way to get some, a virus or anything on your computer. And you just want to watch, if you're donating a cause, which is great and noble, you just want to make sure that it's legitimate. Check it out. I believe the FTC has a link, anything, ftc.gov. Those are really the sites to trust right now, okay. ftc.gov, irs.gov. That's where you kind of want to go to make your ultimate decision of, is this a valid charity, or am I giving, a guy in some other country money to spend on an iPhone? So you just have to be careful with who you're giving to. Fake treatments and fake vaccinations. People want this cured, obviously. People want an end to this. They want to know if they have it. Unfortunately, when somebody makes a claim and it just sounds wonderful and it sounds like $250, that's not a lot of money. It's not an actual test. It's not an actual vaccine. The states are trying to shut these down left and right. And they're having success with that, but they're popping up all over the place.
Yeah, the only test you should take is something administered by a healthcare professional.
Correct.
There you go. Exactly right. Debbie, what should we do right away if we think we are the victim of a fraud? What's our first thing we do?
Well, Scott, we really encourage you to monitor your accounts, monitor your statements, and if you see something that you don't think is yours, find out what it is. I've gotten a statement and I'm like, what is this? I don't know what it is. Call your credit union, call your bank, find out what it is, call your credit card company, verify that if it could be yours, maybe it's your spouse's. How many times you call and you say, oh, yeah, I did buy that at Home Depot. Okay. But But if you think it's something larger, I mean, if you think you're a victim of possibly identity theft, where you're seeing things happen from multiple cases, or someone contact, when you investigate, you find out that it's deeper, we think you need to really file a police report. This could be a bigger ring, like, Kevin just mentioned. The fraudsters are out there. They're targeting people. If it's a bigger ring, we want you to file that police report. Other places we suggest you contact would be the Department of Motor Vehicles, the Social Security Administration, and also your credit bureaus. That's something you can do right away if it's like an identity theft, is contact the credit bureaus and freeze your credit so that nobody else is, by chance, taking over your identity. But once again, Newmark is here to answer your questions. If you see something, question something, that's what you need to do. You need to be vigilant, to be reviewing your account, reviewing your activities, and asking those questions so you know what it is.
Tracy, what about on your end if people have questions about maybe their refund or who they should contact when their plans get canceled or something like that? What should they do?
Well, right now, we are in unprecedented times for...
Go ahead.
Did I lose Tracy?
We did lose Tracy. We heard some music, and then she went away.
Well, that's a glorious exit.
We got to work on that kind of music she's listening to. That was a little odd. But anyway, maybe, Kevin, you can help us out, or Deb, jump in with this one right here. I mean, when you do have questions, because I keep did my refund came in. What do we do?
Yeah, I think, I know that the IRS has a website, FTC has a website, and if I don't know if I have that link offhand, but really, I think most financial institutions are providing a link to that website that has the information on your payment. I know we do on our main page. There's a little link to a blurb that sends you to it. I believe it's irs.gov/coronavirus.
Okay.
irs.gov/coronavirus. And that will have all the information related to your return. I can't speak to, how often it's updated, but hopefully, and we're trying to do this on our end, but we're trying to kind of utilize our marketing website, our social media platforms to provide links, to get people the information that maybe we don't have. We're not going to have all the information from the IRS. So hopefully the other financial institutions, I'm sure they are providing links and providing information on how to get, the latest on what's going on with your check.
Gotcha. All right. Well, Debbie and Tracy, Kevin, guys, thanks for coming on. We could go on this topic for such a long time.
Oh, yeah.
It's so important. Debbie, your drive-thru is open at your locations, correct?
Correct. Our drive-thrus are open, and we actually do have staff at our locations. If you need to make a loan or talk to a loan officer about getting a loan, we are able to talk to people, and you can apply for loans online.
Okay.
And if you need to possibly meet with somebody in person, we are taking we are taking meetings appointment only, but there's so much that can be done online. You could apply online. You can even sign your documents.
Right. Okay. Well, guys, thank you very much for the tip. I have no idea where any of that is coming from, but Debbie, we got all that good information in. So with that, I will leave you guys. Thank you very much. Debbie Reed, Kevin Quinn, Tracy Szendzial from NuMark Credit Union. Folks, they can be reached by going to newmarkcu.org. Remember, they have different locations around the area. So if you're over in New Lenox, you're like, I don't want to drive all the way to Crest Hill. They have a location right there in New Lenox, and there's country in Joliet. They're really handy and really easy to get to. The number is 815-729-3211. Kevin, Debbie, Tracy, thanks, guys. We appreciate your time, and hopefully we'll talk to all of you guys very, very soon. All right, I now have a $25 Visa gift card to give away. Compliments of NuMark Credit Union, $25. Earlier in our program, Kevin mentioned a website where if you're wondering if a not-for-profit organization is a real not-for-profit organization, He mentioned a website. What was that website? 815-254-7300 is the phone number. It's 815-254-7300. First correct caller tells me the name of that website. You get $25 to spend at Newmark Credit Union or anywhere else. It's a Visa gift card, for crying out loud. You can buy me something with it if you want. What website did he mention? Good luck. Coming up next, Davis Jasper's Vitalife, Life with Vitality on WJOR.